Good morning, good afternoon, Littlesilver family. How are you doing? I hope you're fine. Welcome back to my channel for my community. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your support. I am so grateful for having you as part of this family. For the new viewers, thank you so much for visiting this channel, and please do consider subscribing. In today's video, we are going to look at the new introduced visa, which is United Arab Emirates Golden Visa, or the UAE Golden Visa. It's a visa which has been introduced, which offers two options for long-term residency. And by long-term residency, I mean 5 years and 10 years respectively. Both categories have different requirements for different categories of people. So the 5-year visa is mainly for investors and students. This enables you to live, work, study, invest in properties, and as well own property with 100% ownership. As you know previously, or rather generally most of the companies in UAE are some percentages owned by a sponsor, and a sponsor has to be someone who is from the country, who is a UAE national. That was a requirement before that. Anyone who wants to have a company in UAE has to have a share percentage with a UAE national. But these two visas, which is 5-year and 10-year visas, you can live, you can study, you can invest, and be able to own anything 100% without requiring to have a sponsor. So what are the charges for the UAE Golden Visa? So the first charge is 650 for processing, and 150 is an application cost, and the last one is 500 dirhams for issuing the visa. So in total it's around 1150 roughly. So it costs less with comparison to other long-term visas. For example, a 2-year visa for individual as of now costs you around 8,000 dirhams, 10,000 dirhams. So what are the requirements for these two categories of visa, and who are entitled to get these visas? First one is investors. So for an investor to get a 10-year visa, you need to have an investment worth of 10 million dirhams, and this amount should not be linked to any loan. I mean, you should not have any loan against these properties which are worth 10 million, and you should have sustained the properties, like 10 million worth properties, for at least 3 years. So if you have 10 million in properties, then you can get a 10-year visa. If you have 5 million in properties or cumulative investments, then you get a 5-year visa. So depending on how long the visa is, we have different conditions. So the more investments you have in UAE, the higher chance you have to get a 10-year investment visa in the country. The 5-year visa as well, you need an investment of 5 million dirhams with a minimum of 3 years having those properties, and as well you don't need to have any loan which is taken against the properties. The second category is entrepreneurs. So if you are an entrepreneur with a valued capital of 5 million dirhams, you are entitled to get 5-year visas. Please note that all these visas can be renewed at similar application of the terms and conditions of the application. So if it's after 10 years or after 5 years and you still have the 10 million investment or the 5 million investment, then you can still renew and apply for a new 5-year visa or 10-year visa. The third category of people is specialized professionals. For specialized professionals, I would say, for instance, doctors, researchers, and research assistants. A good example is the doctors who took part in the fight against the COVID virus. Most of them or some of them have already been issued with 10-year Golden UAE visa. So with that, they can be able to live without worry and probably feel at home. And also, I think it's a good reward for them. I mean, they are heroes. They did too much. While we were hiding in the house, they were busy fighting the pandemic and risking their lives. So for research assistants or scientific researchers, you need to have proven scientific research. That is in accompaniment of patents or copyright. If you have any research which is against your name, you need to have a patent or a copyright which shows you have 100% ownership of this research, and this research should be proven that it has an impact in the society. It should be like, for example, if you have invented a vaccine, it should be proven that it's 100% working by the authorized organizations. The fourth category is chief executives. So for the chief executives, these are people who head different organizations in both private and also government organizations. So for this, they are given long-term visa, which is 10 years. And the condition for the chief executives is that they should be earning a minimum salary of 30,000 dirhams. And if they have a family here, the person in the family should be covered by an insurance cover. So apart from the salary as well, you need to have a valid contract with a UAE company, the company you're supposedly working for. Then the next category is executive directors, and for these ones also their requirements rise a little bit, and they are required to have a valid contract and as well as earn a minimum of 50,000 dirhams per month. The executive directors and the chief directors are required to also have a bachelor's degree, 5 years experience within their field as well. And the next category is exceptional students. So for exceptional students are the students who have outstanding results. Basically, it's usually a minimum grade of 95% or a gross points accumulation of 3.75 or roughly 4. These students qualify for a 5-year visa. However, it can extend depending on their course of study. For instance, we know some courses require you to study for a longer time, let's say like medicine, but on average it's 5 years. 5 years would be okay for people who are studying 3 years, 4 years, so 5 years is like the average. The next category is coders. We have people who are hardworkingly and tirelessly working for us to be able to run all the applications on our mobile phones, the applications on our computers, and these are coders. They do coding for all the programs, and they are given a 10-year visa. This is mainly in engineering fields, but they also have a minimum requirement condition, which is you have to be earning a salary of 20,000 dirhams for you to qualify for the residency visa, the long-term residency visa. And I think it's It's really worth effort. The next category is engineers. Apart from coders, we have engineers in the field of artificial intelligence, biotechnology, microbiology. All those people as well are able to get this long-term visa. The next category is specialized professional talents. These are exceptional talents in art, doctors, specialists, people who are inventors, or for example, specialists. Let's say they have produced publications, they have contributed to research, or in one way or the other they have an advancement in their career field. This also includes creative individuals as well in the art and film industry. The last and the least category is PhD degree holders, and these are professionals in their own fields, but the condition is that you have to have more than 5 years experience. You need to have acquired your PhD studies amongst the top worldwide recognized academic institutions for you to qualify for the UAE Golden visa. So thank you so much for watching this episode, and I hope to see you in the next video. Please do subscribe if you have not subscribed, and Merry Christmas.